PCP is a hallucinogen-type drug. Its chemical name is phencyclidine. PCP is commonly referred to as angel dust, love boat, or peace pill. It is found in many forms, the most popular being white or colored powder, a tablet or capsule, or clear liquid. PCP was first synthesized by researchers at Parke Davis and Company in 1956. In 1957, the first clinical trial of the drug's effectiveness as an anesthetic agent for humans was conducted. PCP seemed to be more medically effective and safer than other anesthetics, but caused other problems. When used as a surgical anesthetic, up to 30% of the patients manifested agitation, excitement, and disorientation during the recovery period. Now, the only supplies of PCP sold in the United States are made in illegal laboratories. PCP stopped being used for medical reasons due to its many negative effects. PCP is recreationally used by those looking for a quick high or looking for a long-term addiction to a drug. Short-term effects include delusions, hallucinations, paranoia, problems thinking, a sense of distance from one's environment, anxiety, or intense anger. Low doses may result in a slight increase in your breathing rate, increased blood pressure and heart rate, shallow breathing, face redness and sweating, numbness of the hands or feet, and problems with movement. High doses might include lowered blood pressure, pulse rate, breathing rate, nausea, vomiting, blurred vision, flicking up and down of the eyes, drooling, loss of balance, dizziness, violence, suicidal thoughts, seizures, comas, and death. Long-term effects of PCP include memory loss, problems with speech and thinking, depression, weight loss, and anxiety. Other health-related issues of PCP are self-injury, risk of HIV, hepatitis, and other infectious diseases from shared needles. In combination with alcohol, there is an increased risk of coma. Withdrawal symptoms of PCP can result in headaches and sweating. Common ways in taking PCP is by injection, snorting, swallowing, or smoking. Here is the chemical formula for PCP. Here is also the chemical structure and 3D model for PCP. When PCP is heated to decomposition, it emits toxic fumes of oxides of nitrogen. Why is it that people who are unresponsive or high usually don't feel as much pain as others?
I think because drugs impact the central nervous system, which impacts their feeling and their neurons within their brain, as well as within their extremities. And I think that's what causes them to become, it would cause kind of a paralysis or a paresthesia that where they don't feel things. So I'm thinking that that's the problem with it. It impacts their central nervous system.
What are some of the worst things that you've seen in the ER or hospital due to drug abuse?
Car accidents, or even more specifically, motorcycle accidents from people that were high or drunk, particularly high on something. Usually, they cause very, very bad car accidents, and many times the person who's high isn't the person that is hurt the worst because they're so high. Many times they don't feel the pain until they come down off their high, but they usually end up causing death of another person because they're so high and out of it. So those are the worst things that I've seen in the ER from a person that's been high.
What impacts does drug abuse have on a family?
Drug abuse to a family can be terrible. It can have a very negative impact. It can cause people to lose their jobs. It can cause people to lose their livelihood, their homes, their cars. Family members become disconnected. They fall out of love. It's the people become dependent on, or they become codependents to that person, and it just has a very negative impact on a family that can create a great deal of trauma as well as negative outcomes.
Is prescription drug abuse safer than street drug abuse?
No, it's not. Actually, prescription drug abuse can be worse because the people who get a hold to it, uh, they have the resources to get it, and they usually take it for a lot longer than street drug abuse. So no, I wouldn't say that it is.
Why do you think it's hard for someone who's addicted to drugs to quit?
Because once they get started, that's what they use to cope in life, and once they start to depend on that, it becomes a dependency, and it impacts the um, I would call them hormones, or it impacts the brain.
Does a drug physically or mentally affect people in the same way, or does it differ per person?
It differs per person.
How many people have you seen die due to drug abuse?
Lots of people. One particular in my family, he OD'd because of drug abuse.
Do you think people easily get addicted to the drugs they take?
Because they use the drugs as coping mechanism. They have other things going on in their lives, and they use the drugs as a way to mask what they're really feeling or what they're really dealing with in their lives.
Do you think that PCP is a commonly abused drug? Why or why not?
PCP has been a commonly used drug or abused drug in U.S. history because it is cheap and easily accessible.
To what extent have you seen people try to get their hands on drugs?
They jeopardize their livelihood, such as their nursing license. They steal, they hide, they lie, they cheat, and they put other people at risk.